Hey, welcome back everybody. Thank you for joining me once again. Today we're taking a look at the HeadRush Pedalboard, and I'm going to explain to you how easy it is to set up your set lists when you're working with a whole bunch of different rig settings. So for example, if you're playing with a band and you have a set list that particular night of 20, 30 or 40 songs, for example, you can actually set all those songs specifically to a dedicated set list. So it makes retrieving the songs a cinch. You're able to keep track of all your songs and not have to scramble to find the next song by having to hit the scroll up or scroll down button to be able to actually call it up. So let's dive into it and see how easy it is to do. So many of you have asked me, how do I set up a set list when I'm playing with a band? So I have the sounds in the unit, but I don't necessarily want to go looking for them when I need to change to the next song. So how can I organize my sounds to be easily trackable? When you turn on the unit, you normally have some kind of a patch loaded up. In this case, we have something called Black Lab, which I believe is homage to maybe Black Dog from Led Zeppelin. Which is fine and dandy, but that's not a sound that I created. So I wanted to actually create a set list for myself. So I started building up my sounds and I put them into a set list. Now, how do you get to this set list? Well, it's pretty simple. Once the unit is turned on, you hold down the leftmost button here. Just hold it down for a couple seconds. And then the bottom row of buttons change. And now you can see that the buttons say Stomp, Rig, Hybrid, or Set List. So if I click and hold down the Set List button here, now you have different set lists here. They're all different, and some of them are default set lists that come pre-programmed. My particular set list is here, and it's called Jam Songs. So if I click on that, just hold it. Now you see that the little tab here in the window now reads Jam Songs. So now I'm in my list of songs that I've programmed for my set list. All Right Now is selected. So this is my patch for the song All Right Now by Bad Company, a very iconic rock and roll song. As you can see, the actual patch is selected, so the light is on. If I scroll up and down, I can select different songs if I want to go through the actual banks of songs that I have. So for example, if I want to select Learn to Fly, I just have to click that one and switch to Learn to Fly. If I want to go to Sunshine of My Love, I just click that and the patches will change. If I go to New Girl Now or Young Lust, basically the patches will change. So it's a very cool way of being able to set up the songs. But how does it actually work? So if we scroll with our finger on the screen there, you'll see that I have a list of songs here. These are the songs that I've programmed so far for my set list. So if I want to go in a song, for example, if I go into the song Better Be Home Soon, this is the actual patch for that, right? So the set list now will give me some features that I can access. So for example, I can give the rig a new name. If I want to change the name, I just select this. I can change the name with the keyboard that pops up and just save it. I'm not going to do that right now. I just want to show you how that works. Now, if I want to do a hardware assign, I could just click on the hardware assign button and I could change certain things. So the patches, the pedals that I'm using here are displayed in the rig. So I have an IR, I have a reverb, a chorus, a comp, and an amp. Now, if I want to change the position of any of these, I can just take one of them and drag it to a new position, and it will actually change the position of the pedals when you actually have to hit them on the board. So that's a pretty cool thing. I could also tag the song with a different color. So for example, if I select that color and I save it, then when I go back to my view, you can see that the song now is a different color. So I can easily pick it out of my list just by giving it a highlight color. I could also delete it by hitting the garbage can to the right. I don't want to delete my song right now, but you can do that. Or if you're looking for a specific song, for example, if I want to find Run Like Hell, I can just type in the keyword and then just hit enter. And as you can see, all the songs with the word run comes up, and I can select Run Like Hell, and I'm in the patch. Very, very easy to do, right? Now, obviously, if I make a change here, for example, if I'm in the patch and I want to modify any of the pedals, I can still do so. I can do so just by clicking on the actual unit. If you click on a unit here, you automatically have the ability to change certain of the parameters with the buttons on the right hand side. So for example, if I want to change the delay time, I can just scroll here and do that, right? I can change it. If there's more parameters to be had, I can just slide it up and change, for example, the mix value. Once I make any changes, obviously I'll have to change it. I'll have to save it. If I do make a change, for example, if I go into the air reverb and I change the mix value or something like that, you will want to save that change to make sure that it actually takes effect. So if we click the three little dots on the right hand side, we can discard the changes we just made, or we can go back into hardware assign, or we can go into global settings. I don't want to touch those other parameters just yet because they are a little bit complicated, and we don't need to look at that for what we're discussing here today. If we want to look at all my rigs, so for example, I'm in jam songs right now, and I have 58 songs in that particular set list. Of course, the other set lists that come pre-programmed, for example, amp tones, bass tones, clean tones, etc., are all in there as well. If I want to organize the list, I can sort it if I just click on A to Z. Now they're already in alphabetical order, so nothing really changed there. But if you add a different set list, it will actually jump into the right position, and you can have it in alphabetical order, which is pretty cool. So right now it's telling me that I have 340 different sounds programmed within all my rigs, which is impressive. And of course, one of the cool things about the unit, and it doesn't really have much to do with actual set lists, but I just wanted to talk about this briefly because I am super impressed by the fact that there's about three different ways to actually change things when you're actually editing within the patches, the rigs, whatever you're using on the screen. So obviously you can click on something and modify it, right? Now, if I want to change something, for example, if I want to change the reverb, if I just click on that, double click it, right? And I'm automatically into a different screen here that allows me to program or select a preset. So I'm in the Hall preset here, and the model is Hall, so I can modify things from this particular screen. I can change the mix value there. Obviously, when I make a change, there's a little asterisk at the top that shows me that I have made a change, and if I wanted to save it, I have to hit save. Otherwise, I lose that option, okay? So if I click save, then the little asterisk goes away. So that's one way of editing things. Now I can also use the little knob. So this is like a global selection. If I just rotate it left or right, I can go through every selection on my screen and make that a selection. So for example, if I choose Black Op and I click on it, I'm again in the default window for that particular effect. If I want to make any changes here, I can still use the scroll and do that directly from there, which is pretty cool. Now, there's another way we can actually make changes. So for example, if I go back into regular view, which is stomp box view. So when I'm in stomp box view, now I have what I have on my screen basically laid out in front of me here as well. So once I'm in that view, for example, if I want to make a modification to the tape echo, let's say I want to modify that. I just press and hold the tape echo button, and now you see that the screen changes and the look of this screen is a lot different from the previous ones. So what's happening now is that every single one of these buttons at the bottom is one of the settings within the tape echo effect. So I can actually select sync, feedback, record level, mix level, head. If I want to make any changes there, for example, let's say I want to change the feedback percentage. Clicking on the feedback button here brings it up. It's 27%. Now, if I change anything here, this knob no longer affects the change here. What does affect the change here though are the switches and the expression pedal. So for example, let's say I want to increase it to 29%. I can click the plus button now 2 times and bring it to 29%. I can also take the effects expression pedal here. You can't really see it because out of the screen, but trust me, it's right here. So if I pull that up or down, I'm actually changing the feedback percentage just using the expression pedal. Now, the reason why this is cool is that you don't have to bend down to make any of these changes. You can do it all with your feet. So if I want to go back and I change the sync effect, right now it's off. If I want to turn it on, I can just hit the plus button there and it's on. If I want to turn it back off, I can do that. If I want to go to the next effect, the next selection, I can just use these arrows here and move down to the next effects. So you see that, for example, I have sync, feedback, record level, mix, and head. But if I scroll right, I still have wow and hiss, which are all still part of that particular effects, but I didn't see it because I had to scroll over. So it's really handy to be able to do all this with your feet instead of using your hands, especially when you're trying to play something and you know you're playing all night long and you don't want to constantly have to bend down to make changes. So you can do this all on the fly, which is really nice. So basically that's it. Once you're done, you can hit the exit button here and you're once again into the mode where you see all the pedals. If you want to go back into your set list mode, you just go back by clicking the appropriate set list. And we're in our jam songs here. So we're ready to go. And there you go. You have all the set and all the songs ready to rock. Simple as that, guys. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you got something out of it. If there's anything specific you want me to show you about the HeadRush pedalboard, please leave your comments below. I'm more than happy to go into any kind of deep dive regarding any of the different patch settings or the way you can manipulate the sounds or the way you can set up your rigs and so on and so forth. So just leave your comments and I'll be happy to do that for you. So there you go, guys. I hope you got something useful out of this very quick video. Set lists are your friends. Make sure you use a set list when you're playing with a band because obviously it's going to be a lot more efficient to find the next song you want to be playing without having to scroll or tap dance on the stomp buttons to go forward or backwards between every single song that's in the unit. You can efficiently find the next song you're needing to play in a split second. So definitely use a set list if you're playing with a live band. If there's something specific you want me to show you regarding the HeadRush pedalboard, please leave me your comments below. There's so many features built into this thing that I can make videos for days on end regarding what you can do with the actual unit. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. If you prefer that I show you something else regarding what you can do with the unit, definitely leave your comments and I'll be happy to oblige. If you want to make sure that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, hit the little bell and you'll get a notification when I post a new video. In the meantime, subscribe and stay tuned, because this is why I do what I do here for you guys and to offer something of value. So that's it for now, guys. Stay tuned and keep rocking, and we'll see each other soon.